Hello students, this is Uma Vidushi, your English teacher, and today I will teach you a poem, The Fountain, which is written by James Russell Lowell. So without wasting much time, let's begin today's class. Dear children, let's start this class by knowing about the poet. James Russell Lowell was an American romantic poet, critic, editor, and diplomat. He is associated with the Fireside Poets, a group of New England writers who were among the first American poets that followed the popularity of British poets. Lowell graduated from Howard College in 1838. Despite his reputation as a troublemaker, and went on to earn a law degree from Harvard Law School. He published his first collection of poetry in the year 1841 and married with Maria White in 1844. James Russell Lowell was born on February 22, 1819, and he was also a member of the 18th generation of Lowell family. Now let's know about the poem. The poet describes the motion of the fountain during sunlight and moonshine that inspire him to achieve his highest goals in life. He wishes to be happy and cheerful in all situations of his life, just like the fountain. So according to the poet, if a man will be a value seeker, he must be one by choice. To be a value seeker, a man must think of himself. Thinking about one's own value is selfish, but it is still good nevertheless. So this is what the poet is talking in this poem. Now let's see the structure of the poem. The Fountain is a poem with 8 stanzas divided into 4 lines. It has got a definite rhyming scheme. As you can see here on the screen, in the first stanza it is A, B, C, B. In the second stanza, it is B, D. There is no rhyming scheme in the third line, and then D. In the third stanza, it's B, E, B, E. Then in the fourth stanza, it's only resembles A. And in the same way, B, B, F, B, F. In the seventh stanza, C, B, A, B. And in the last stanza, you will find a, E, B, E. So this is the rhyming scheme of this poem. There are many exclamation marks in the poem, which shows that the speaker is excited. He or she has strong feelings on the subject that is described in the poem, The Fountain. Now let's see the stanzas of this poem, and I will explain you stanza by stanza. Into the sunshine full of the light, leaping and flashing from morn till night. In the very first stanza, the poet describes how the fountain looks like, or the motion of the sunlight. He says, in the sunlight, the fountain of the water keeps jumping up out the spring from morning to the end of the day. It seems to shine even more brighter in the light. Leaping means jumping, and flashing means to shine. Into the moonlight, whiter than snow, waving so flower-like when the winds blow. In this stanza, the poet describes how the fountain looks like in the moonlight or at night. He compares the water with the snow and flowers. He says that the water looks whiter than the snow at night. He even says that the water which comes out from the spring or fountain is also known as spring. So he says that the water which comes out from the fountain looks like a white flower. Waving so flower like means the water which is coming out from the fountain is waving, it is moving like the flower generally dances in breeze or in wind. Into the starlight rushing in spray, happy at midnight, happy by day. Here the poet describes in the third stanza that how the fountain looks like in the starlight. He says that the fountain or the water looks as if it is sprayed. No matter if there is day or night, the fountain stays forever. The poet too wanted to be happy like the fountain. Here the mood of the poet shows that he is very inspired from the fountain. He also desires for himself to be happy like a fountain. Ever in motion, bittersome or cherry, still climbing heavenward, never aweary. It means that the poet says that the fountain stays in motion all the time. Ever in motion means it stays in motion all the time. It never stops or never get tired. Bittersome means get tired. Okay, so he never gets stopped or never gets tired, just because the water keeps flowing upward. The poet says that the water climbs the steps to heaven. It says that the fountain is found to be very energetic, to flow all the time, and it has got the power to be happy. Now let's see the next stanza. In stanza 5th, the poet says, glad of all weathers, still seeming best, upward or downward, motion the rest. He says that no matter what the weather is, the fountain stays happy forever. Glad of all weather means there is no matter of any weather. Still seeming best means the fountain always stay happy, cheerful forever. No matter what the direction is, whether upward or downward, it finds rest and happiness in that. So we must learn from the fountain that we should always be happy and rest from our mind, no matter whatever situation comes in front of us. Full of nature, nothing can tame, changed every moment, ever the same. The fountain is the part of nature. No one can take it in their own control. Tame means control. Or no one can stop it from flowing. It keeps flowing upward. The water flows in a perfect ratio that it always looks similar. So this is what the poet is saying in stanza number 6. Now let's have a look to the next stanza. Ceaseless aspiring, ceaseless content, darkness or sunshine, the element. Here the poet says that the fountain keeps flowing water upward continuously. It seems as if he is very happy, very joyful, very satisfied by the height to which the water reaches. Whether it is day or night, Darkness or sunshine means whether it is day or night. The fountain seems to be happy always. It teaches us that whatever the atmosphere of nature is, we should always stay happy and satisfied. So there is many things to learn from a fountain, right? Now, the last stanza of this poem. A glorious fountain, let my heart be fresh, changeful, constant, a word like thee. Here the speaker is very excited. That's why he used exclamation mark. A glorious fountain. He's showing a strong feeling. He has got a strong feeling on the subject. And here the subject is the fountain that he is describing in the poem. The fountain inspires him to achieve his highest goals in his life. He wishes to be happy and cheerful in all the situation of life, just like the fountain. So this is what the poet describes about the fountain, and he also told us as a reader to learn a life lesson from the fountain. Now students, this is the explanation of all the 8 stanzas of this poem. Now let's have a look on the literary device of this poem. So there is 3 literary devices used in this poem: personification, alliteration and metaphor. So first of all, understand what is personification. So personification is the contribution of a personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human, or the representation of an abstract quality in human form. So which personificative lines in the poem has used personification? Like waving so flower-like, leaping and flashing, still climbing heavenward, never a weary. So these all 3 lines are personified. Now there is also a use of alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration means occurrence of the same letter or sound at the of adjacent or closing connected words. What are those words? Like ceaseless content, changeful constant. So they, in all these 4 words, you can find that same letter C is repeated. The last literary device which is used in this poem is metaphor. It is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. Into the moonlight, whiter than snow. Here in these 2 lines of the poem, the poet has used metaphor. If I talk about the theme of the poem, so in the poem The Fountain, the theme is nature. The poem is full of images we see when he described the fountain. I hope students you have enjoyed this poem a lot. I have left the link of the explanation and the inside question of this poem in the description box. I hope you will find it out. Thank you so much for staying with me till here. Take care. Bye-bye.